I'm doing an interview with pro MMA fighter Kasim Ruffin, coming off of a big win a couple of weeks ago, March 24th. It was where he fought Santos there in the bare knuckle fighting championship match. Good to have you on there, sir. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing very good, my man. Very good.
That is very.
How about you, my guy?
Thank you for asking, man. I am doing wonderful. Doing great. I loved having you on when you were guest on the reviews. I thought you provided a lot of great insight there. I'd love to have you on the Black Panther Wakanda Forever review, and love to have you back again for another review. I don't know what you're looking forward to next up, but yeah, I'd love to have you back.
What you mean? I mean, it's the galaxy. It's
Guardians.
about to come.
Okay, yeah, I'll pencil you in for Guardians of the
Yes,
Galaxy,
sir.
then, man.
J-
Yeah. Uh,
Definitely. You got to jump on the farewell tour.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll pencil you in for that. Um, yeah. So I'm just gonna.
Salute you.
Oh, we say? Is everything good?
Yeah, we're back.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, just gonna ask you some questions, get to just general background information, and then probably get further, discussing more about you, and everything like that. So, I guess we'll start with some recent events. Of course, you won your bout with Santos. So, tell me how you prepped for that fight, your thoughts during the fight and afterwards.
All right, so the preparation for this fight, luckily I was able to train a lot with Reggie Barnett Jr., who became 135 bare knuckle champion. 35 being my ideal weight. But, I like the idea of not having to cut weight, so we had fun fighting at 145. I feel like I gave up a little bit of size, but I had more speed and I felt a little stronger than my opponent, ironically. Yeah, I wasn't really sucked out from dropping any kind of weight. Of course, I had my strength and conditioning with my coach Xavier Bell as always, make sure I'm nice and strong. I had Jake from the House of Muay Thai providing me with pads work in the back and he wrapped my hands, so I felt extra crispy and nice back there. Just felt all good for this camp, man, and I went out there and put on a show. And I had everybody from all of Virginia cheering me on. Portsmouth was strong in the building. It was love, man.
Nice. Very, very good. Um, and I know you did a post-fight interview there, and you said you just knew this guy just did not have the dog in him. I mean, can you just tell that with most fights, is people who just, you know what I mean, just sometimes they just don't have that much in them, and that you could kind of control. Even though you said you did give a lot of respect to him in the fight, and he did give a lot more than you initially thought. Do you sometimes you just sense that out when you're in the fight?
You can a lot of times you can watch it from the film. How people react to certain things, like how you react to being hit. What do you do when you get hit? What do you do after you've hit somebody? Do you only move forward when you're feeling confident and you feel like you have the person hurt or the person's tired, or you're a person who just marches forward because you will not be denied? His first fight with BKFC, which I may have to just after fighting him, I had to top up a lot of it to first fight nerves. BKFC is definitely a lot different. You don't realize how much confidence or how much comfort those very small gloves give you in MMA until you take them off and you have to go with just your knuckles. Um, but prior to my original belief of him not having that dog in him, that kid came to fight. Like I definitely know I hurt him pretty bad early on in some of the shots that I landed. I definitely had more power than him. I definitely hit harder than his original opponent. Well, not original opponent, but his first opponent. And he went down off of like a very glancing shot when he fought that guy. But he was able to stand up to some of my big punches and keep fighting. I know I went in with an injury, but it was no way I wasn't going to fight in front of the home crowd. So we had to just kind of deal with that adversity, and we did it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he definitely gave me respect. He trained his butt off for the fight, and I don't know, it felt good knowing that my opponent came to a fight against me a lot sharper and just overall better than he did his last fight versus a guy who had a lot more experience in bare knuckle. It just let me know that like he took that fight very seriously, and that's a respect thing, you know. Like if I feel like you're good, I'm gonna take my training very seriously because I don't want to go out there and get embarrassed.
Yeah. And how long ago was your last fight?
I feel like my last fight was ironically like April of last year. Um, I got wrestle fucked in that. Excuse my language. I got wrestle fucked in that fight. Um, dude talked a big game about being able to outbox me and all this other stuff. He was significantly bigger than me. Had me about a good 20, 25 pounds. So I thought he was really going to try to impose his will. We traded like once or twice, and then from there on, he just went for a blast double. The fight I had previous to that, I had also lost, but I lost that fight more off of a technical standpoint of just being tired. Elevation is real. Like when people say, "Oh, elevation isn't a real thing," though. Fighting somewhere at a higher elevation is definitely different. So, and I had a terrible weight cut, but I mean that's just part of the business. I should have been able to do better on that. But yeah. So going into my training, I try to really focus on my cardio, but I neglected my strength and condition, like my strength. And he was able to just kind of power me down for a lot of double legs.
Okay. Yeah. And you were
Yeah,
right.
but this fight was fun because
Yeah, because
go ahead.
you were right because I'm looking at it. So your last fight, yeah, you were right. It was on April 23rd. That was your last fight here, of last year. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah. So,
Got a good memory for these things.
so you said so your trainer is Xavier Bill. So how did you get into professional fighting? Tell me about that journey.
All right. So I really love wrestling. I'm talking WWE and all of that, man. Like honestly, if I could have found like a wrestling school, like professional wrestling school, you probably would have been seeing me on SmackDown. But um, there was a tutor who used to come through and like tutor some of our wrestlers to help them, with their grades and everything, so they could stay on the team. And because like if you didn't have like a B plus average or like a B minus average or something, you couldn't wrestle. So the tutor would come through and just make sure everybody was good. He knew Xavier Bell when I told him like I was interested in fighting. He hooked me up. Had kind of made the connection so I could go out there and train with him. First day of training, Xavier goes, "Oh, cool. You thinking about doing MMA and stuff?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You ever fought before?" And I was like, I mean, not legally." So he's like, "All right, glove up." So first day I'm there, I got a glove up, and now I got to go against Bob, who had been training for a little bit. And now I'm like, "Holy shit!" Bob's like this little tornado of terror. We call him Slip Guy because he's so hard to hit. And I go out there and me and Bob scrap for a little bit, and they were like, "I bet you come in, you train your ass off, and again, excuse my language, you train your butt off, and we'll have a spot for you, man."
Okay.
So I went in and trained my butt off. Yeah.
Yeah. And how long have you been at it?
At this point, probably like 7 years. Actually fighting like 5 or 6, but altogether training. I trained like a year before I competed, almost a year and a half because we had a hard time finding me fights at my actual weight class.
Okay. And, and then for your weight class, what is that considered? Is that lightweight or is that featherweight?
Um, yeah, featherweight. I'm either smaller than lightweight. Boy, tiny out here. I pack a punch, so it's cool though. I pack a punch for all you bigums out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, featherweight. To be honest, I'm a bantamweight off of my size. My height allows me to fight featherweight, but my ideal weight class is bantamweight about 135. Though I'm starting to put on more muscle, so in probably a year or two I'll move up to featherweight for good. Boxing wise, like just straight striking or even grappling, I won't compete under 145. But as far as MMA, just because of how dynamic it is, 35 is ideal because excuse me, most people who fight at 145 probably walk around about 175 or 170 in camp. Them boys are big. Me in camp, I'm walking about 10 pounds lighter than that, 160, 165. So there's a significant size difference. You see the last fight, you can definitely see it.
And for you, so have you been mostly like a kind of a lighter guy your whole life? Is it easy for you to kind of cut weight, gain weight? Is it pretty, easy?
I've definitely been a smaller guy all of my life. I didn't break 100 pounds until I got into middle school. And then I finally got up to like 110. No, correct. I didn't break 100 pounds until I got to high school. And then I got up to like 110, 115. So definitely been a smaller guy majority of my life. As I'm getting older, my metabolism is starting to finally slow down. So I'm able to put on more weight, which has been fun but kind of annoying because now I miss those days when I was just a skinny mini and could eat literally anything and still not gain the weight. It's like, oh,
Mm.
they tell you, you don't realize what you got until it's gone.
And you
Now that's gone, it's like, oh no, I have to actually pay attention to a diet now. I can't eat pizza rolls and still go fight.
and you cooking something right now, aren't you?
Yeah, man, cooking some chicken, some good old chicken, marinated over.
Okay.
My fiance marinated it last night for me, so now I'm just kind of cooking it up now, just prepping it so that I have stuff to eat tomorrow. I enjoy, the week after the fight, I get to eat ice cream and stuff like that.
Mm.
But now it's time to get back on the grind.
Okay. So how
Yeah,
long?
you hear that sizzle?
So after a fight, how long do you celebrate, and then how long? And then how long is that process? And then when do you go back to like, okay, got to get back to train and be prepped for the next fight? What's how long is that?
So for this fight, I have a 30-day no contact. I can't really sustain contact, not contact, contact just to let my body heal properly. Um, but I'm still going to be working out, still training. It's ways around to work around that, so I can still be prepped and ready, just in case I have to take something short notice. Um, Usually, I like to like wait a week. Depends on my performance. To be honest, like if I hated my performance, with even after wins, I usually hate my performance. Um, One of my not so good flaws is I'm definitely a perfectionist when it comes to myself. It's just I believe I can do a lot better than I do, and not just I believe it. I want to do better. So I go in, I kind of pick apart what I did well and what I didn't do well, and I want to go back and work on that. Even if it's just kind of like a light running or a shadow boxing or just film study. So the relaxing process for me is usually about 6 to 7 days at max, and then we're back in there.
Mm. Okay. And you say you like to enjoy some good food while you're there, 6 7 days. Maybe get some ice cream. Enjoy some kind of junk food there.
Yeah,
While
maybe.
maybe. Okay.
Definitely getting ice cream.
And what's your go to?
What's that? The ice cream that we got. What's it called? Is the Ben and Jerry's one? Uh, yeah, Netflix and chill. I like the vegan Netflix and chill. That changed the world. What's his name? Colin Kaepernick one at Ben and Jerry's is pretty good too.
Mm.
Uh,
Okay. Some good old Ben and Jerry's. It's a
yeah,
good
yeah.
old
I'm
classic.
liking a lot of because their vegan option for like ice cream is pretty good. I'm realizing as I'm getting older that cow's milk and me does not agree really.
Mm.
So yeah, you know,
Okay.
and I already got a Mexican fetish when it comes to food anyway, so I can't tear my stomach up too much, man.
So what do you usually eat like when you're like just every day pretty much most of the time? What do you usually eat? What's the diet like there?
Chicken, rice, fish, some kind of veggies. Chicken, rice, fish, some kind of veggies. Every now and again, we'll get like a Hello Fresh or something to kind of mix it up, but make sure we're still eating good. Um, it's trying to definitely do more home cooked stuff. It's because that way you know what's actually going into your food. You can usually eat more without having to worry about like your macros and your calories. Because most of it, like anytime you go out, you're usually consuming just like a lot of salt, and just the water retention with all that salt is just terrible.
Mm. Yeah. Dang. I wish I had my HelloFresh subscription there. I could have promoted that. I wish we had still had that business deal. I could have been able like, oh yeah, that'd been a good. I segue to there do a commercial, but I don't have that anymore.
Fact.
You know what I mean?
You can always get it again.
Yeah, I always get it again. Yeah, I'll play this during it. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, hey, professional MMA fighter Kasim Ruffin says, hey, he tries out HelloFresh. You should too. That'd be great. Yeah, to do that for that. Yeah, so you said so. Yeah, you came in out of high school, fighting everything like that. Been doing it for about 6 to 7 years, and you're 29 years old right now. How long do you see?
Yeah, man.
How long do you see yourself doing it? And like, I guess what is ultimately the goal? Is it I mean with your fighting career?
I probably got about a good 5 to 6 more years of competing. And then I've always figured that 30 would be my turn up year where I started getting like the most recognition. Because I started off a lot later than most people, and my training early on was limited to like 1 or 2 days a week. Like I was out there fighting with 2 days of training a week against people who could train every day just because like I had to work, in a regular 9 to 5 to afford training. I really didn't have a car. I used to ride my bike over the Jordan Bridge to try to get to practice when I could. So now I have, more stable income. So just I'm able to upgrade my level of training as I'm getting more press and more publicity now. I'll be able to upgrade my level of training again. Working on starting a fitness program and then eventually opening my own gym. That way I'll be able to train 24/7. I won't necessarily have to worry about a 9 to 5, and I can really just pour everything I have into it. And that way I can give out that top-notch performance that I know I'm capable of.
Okay, yeah, that sounds open up your own gym sounds great. Fitness program for people there. That sounds great. Are you like much involved with a lot of the youth involved down in Virginia there?
Me and my fiance ran a program for Swanson Homes. We did it for about like 2 months. It was awesome. The kids were wonderful. They didn't have to pay a single thing to come and train. So I really want to capitalize off of that, do the same thing. As a kid, I wanted to be into like martial arts a lot early. We all love the Jet Li and Bruce Lee movies when we were little. And I wanted to do that so much, but I couldn't afford it. Like, just being real, our family didn't have the money to go and do those things. So every now and again, I would go up to one of the classes and, they would do like this 7 day free trial. And I would just go to different gyms doing that 7 day free trial to try to learn as much as I could in that 7 days. And then, wait till next year and I could do it again.
Yeah. So you were doing what people do online in real life, how people sign up different emails with the same thing. You were doing that in real life, going in different gyms.
Yes, sir. Real life. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Coming with a different hat saying, I got two middle names. So today, instead of Kasim, I'm Malik. Then the next day, my name Dante. I was in there.
Okay. And your fiance, so is she also a professional fighter as well?
No, no, no. She's training to be a personal trainer, but she's also a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner. She actually has a competition coming up on April 29th. Might bring her up here to talk to you about that another day. She's going to go out there and be awesome. First time ever competing, she won gold, which was dope. I'm so proud of her. Mainly just for competing, and it takes a lot to compete. And she went out there and she did her goddamn thing,
Nice. Oh, well, shout out to her. Yeah, I'd love to have her on when she's getting prepped for her match afterwards or anything like that.
I remember when I did yeah.
Yeah. And she was also wonderful as well because she was with you when we did the Wakanda Forever review, and she was terrific. So yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. And then so how you got to be on the show was Nick, who's my co-host there, who is on the show.
Yeah.
Good old Nick there.
My boy Nick.
Yeah. So you have right now you have a record of 2-2. Right now, and you said some of those two losses were it's kind of some funny stuff kind of going on with the two losses that you had. Even though you had kind of that.
No. They beat me.
Okay. So they beat you fair and square.
They beat me fair and square. It was a learning lesson.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't want to ever diminish what my they trained their butts off. They did their work. I never want to diminish that to take that away. They're athletes and they work their tails off just like me. I just definitely know I can perform a lot better than I did. There was things going into that, but I mean, there's always things going into it. That's just life.
Mm. Okay.
It's just kind of how you overcome those situations. Trials and tribulations are necessary. It's how we get such great stories.
Yeah.
Naruto wouldn't be Naruto without, the village hating on him for so many years.
Mm. Yeah.
They
Very.
kind of phoned it though. He said they liked one time. They kind of praised my man.
I'm gonna get into because you seem like you have also a real love and passion for a lot of geeky kind of nerdy stuff, I guess you could say. I was trying to find some more information about you, looking you up a little bit more. And I saw that you had a YouTube channel, and I saw on your YouTube channel that you would try to be auditioned to be a Power Ranger there.
Yeah, I tried to be a Power Ranger, man. But they didn't pick your boy. They didn't pick your boy. It's cool. I had to send in a different audition after that one. They liked that one, but then I had to actually act out a scene, and like it was real windy outside, so the audio was terrible. So I think they just didn't even want to deal with it because we had really bad audio. But it's okay. I
Yeah.
think that would have been the most awesome thing ever. As a kid, I really liked the Power Rangers. Shout out to the original Mighty Morphins. R.I.P. to Tommy. Um, the Netflix little special thing looked cool, corny but cool. The good kind of corny, as Walt Disney would say. I like corn. Or that little kid that's like, oh, I like corn. But I thought it would be really cool to be able to enjoy something and then have my nephew be able to see me do the same thing
Mm.
and like see me on TV being a Power Ranger. I thought that would be the coolest thing ever, man.
Yeah, because I have a clip here. I see you. So did a little bit of a clip, in the ring, doing a little, just showing off your skills here, doing a little sparring with the guys. So I have that clip up here now. Did you have a particular color you wanted to be as a Power Ranger?
Okay, so it would have been an honor, absolutely honor to be the Red Ranger because everybody wants to be the Red Ranger. But if they could have thrown me in that all black, your boy would have been too hype. Because, hey, to be honest, I would have been down to be the first male Pink Ranger. Also. I'm down for the pink breast cancer awareness. We can rock it. I
Mm.
wouldn't have hated it at all. It would have been
Trendset
nice.
Trendsetter. Okay, yeah.
Yes, sir. Always, always.
So how did you get into a lot of the kind of geeky nerd stuff? Just growing up, you read a lot of comics, watched a lot of kind of Power Rangers, Toonami, Cartoon Network type stuff.
So it was definitely a lot of TV. I didn't really have access to a lot of comics. I didn't have access to a lot of comics until I got to high school, and our library section would actually have like manga. And then the first manga I really checked out and read was actually manga Shakespeare, which
Okay.
is how I know like Midsummer's Dream and all of that, Hamlet, all of that because of manga Shakespeare. But definitely like shows like Static Shock, which I feel like I would have been a perfect Static Shock, but nobody wanted to discover me, so it's cool, it's cool. So like 10 years ago I would have been perfect for the role, but it's okay, it's okay. We're still out here, we're still doing it.
Nice. Yeah, so I kind of love that you kind of have a lot of knowledge about a lot of that stuff. Yeah, big fan of Static Shock. What are you watching right now? Any anime, reading any manga, watching any good, cartoon, anything like that right now?
Okay, so my nephew gets upset with me because I'm not really watching as much anime. To be honest, I'm mainly reading manga, but it's because I don't. I tend not to have the most patience when it comes to anime. I want to hurt. Oh, what's up, Jay? Like anime just tends to take too long, man. You get a really good anime like Legend of the Legendary Heroes. Name is terrible, but the anime was awesome. And then season one comes out, it's fire, and then no season two for like 12 years. I can't deal with that. My emotions. So I mainly just read the manga. Just about anything that's out that people like, I've already read. I got a couple of ones in the background too. Attack on Titan, of course, is like a work of absolute perfection. Gantz, Gantz, is amazing. The art on it is beautiful. Breaker and Breaker New Waves are probably two of my favorite manhwa. Unfortunately, they finally came out with like the season three for it, but they changed it to a webtoon instead of a manhwa, and like it's so hard to read because the switch up from the art, like Breaker and Breaker New Wave art style
Mhm.
was on par with probably One Punch Man and Gantz, like two like amazing. Like just the way they're drawn is absolutely amazing. And then now it's just like little cheesy looking man. Wow, I'm pretty sure the story is still amazing, so I'm gonna eventually go back and read it. But it's just it's breaking my heart.
I was going to ask you about Attack on Titan because I know they're doing the season 4 part 2, so it's wrapping up right now.
I really hope they don't change the ending. I know people hate the ending, but I mean, I thought it was good. I really thought it was good. I'm not gonna say it because of the spoilers, even though most people probably know it already. But I personally thought the ending was good. I don't feel like we can always have the ending that we want, you know?
Okay, yeah, I plan on binging it pretty soon. Watching all, I haven't. I dropped off at season 1 of it, so I have to
Mm.
watch all of it and catch back up to it. And so I was going to ask you. So
Yeah, it's
about,
worth it, man. It's definitely worth it.
I hear it's fantastic, fantastic series. So I was going to ask you about. So you're 2-2 right now, and kind of the fights that you've had collectively. What have you kind of learned from all these different fights, and how would you describe your fighting style? And do you think your fighting style has changed, very much since your last fight or your last couple of fights? I want to kind of ask you about that as well.
I feel like I've never really had the opportunity to really use my striking. Because in MMA, once I throw like one or two punches, people are ready to wrestle. Usually I don't mind because I don't really feel like people are that much better or really that great at wrestling anyway. Um, Honestly, I feel like it just depends on the training that we get in. I kind of got away from really studying what my opponents did and just worrying more about what I would do. I feel like I did that to my own detriment because I stopped paying attention to my opponent's strengths and just focusing on myself. So when we just get in those situations and start grappling, like the first couple of scrambles, I would be good. But then, like if they're a power wrestler, then you need to train for that. You know, you need to like, all right, this guy's going to be specifically strong here, so I either need to stop the takedown before it happens, or I need to kind of pick my spots where I need to explode and get out, stuff like that. And I just wasn't doing enough homework. This bare knuckle fight, now 1-0 in bare knuckle, has allowed me to really go out there, throw my hands, get touched up a little bit, really experience that to know how I would, do in that kind of situation. It's helped boost my confidence so much. So I definitely feel my style's evolved a lot.
So I
If
played.
I had to kind of try to like put a name on it, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine.
Oh, I was playing a little bit of
Oh,
a,
just,
yeah. Oh, sorry. I was playing a clip of you were fighting a guy named I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, in Canales, in Seniles. Is that how you say it?
Ensenada.
Ensenales, and I saw
Andre Ensenada. Yeah.
you were fighting him. This was in 2017. So he seems like this guy seems like he's a much kind of a little bit of a bigger guy here for you to fight against. And I see what you're saying. So you're trying to get in. I was playing a little bit. You see you striking a little bit. Then it was kind of him wrapping you up, trying to get more to the ground there. So this was about a few years ago. So that's how most of the kind of fights go, like you said, just kind of like you're not really utilizing your striking much, and it's mostly you relying on your kind of wrestling ability there.
Absolutely. Nobody really wants to strike with me. Everybody thinks they can go out and sub me. I've only ever been subbed one time, people. So I don't know what y'all keep. I don't know. I mean, it's like they saw one person win that way one time, so everybody's like, "All right, this is the way to win," and that's fine. That just means that we have to make sure that part of our game is sharp. Chael Sonnen says it best. The best way to beat a wrestler is to wrestle. So going forward on MMA fights, I'm just going to go back to starting to take people down. I kind of got away from that because I wanted to develop my striking. So I would go into fights trying to strike more, and I would almost get annoyed when people wouldn't want to strike with me. But it's like my jiu-jitsu professor says it best. It's like in the end, the point is to win. Like it ain't to go out there and look good and look pretty. No, it's to win. So if that's what they got to do to win, then power to them. I just have to go in there, be able to oppose my will, shut down their game plan completely, and then I can go and do the things that I want to do. If I want to strike, then then I can strike, but I have to make sure they realize, oh, you're not gonna wrestle me. You're not just gonna hold me against the cage.
So when you're not watching tape of your next opponent, do you also are you a big fighting junkie? Do you watch a lot of MMA stuff? Do you consume a lot of UFC stuff? Are you doing that? We-
So I got away from it, but now I'm back at it. I'm finding the enjoyment. Like I'm a fan of the sport, and like I kind of got away from being a fan of the sport, maybe because it's like I felt like I'm competing, so I need to be more. I don't know. I just kind of got away from being a fan, so I'm becoming a fan again. I'm watching more, just having fun with it, seeing things I like, seeing things I don't like, seeing things I think I can improve on. So I'm definitely just watching more, not just to study and take apart, but also just because I like it.
Okay. And you mentioned Chael Sonnen, legend, icon in the game of UFC. Um, and so would you say you have any people that you kind of look at, inspirationally, that you kind of like, this is an amazing fighter, or you someone you pattern your fighting style off of? There.
If there's ever a person who I could learn from, train with, and like really get more work done with, it is George St. Pierre. I think that man is a genius, absolute genius when it comes to the game. It's how he breaks it down, how much of a student to the craft he is. I love it. Frankie Edgar, he has always been my hero. When he was fighting at 155, when he clearly should have been at 135 in his prime, and he was out there just being a David versus a whole bunch of Goliaths. He was just a dog. Like his fights versus Gray Maynard, who actually messaged me. Like I messaged him first, of course, but on Instagram, and it felt the honor to talk to him.
Nice.
It was great. Yeah, that's all I got a message.
Okay. Frankie Edgar, George St. Pierre. Yeah, another, kind of legends in the game there as well. Yeah, I mean, that's, yeah, great stuff. And great
Oh,
to,
and Shinya Okoye.
okay. Shinya Okoye. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. His jujitsu was amazing.
And so do you pattern any of your fighting stuff off of these people, or is just somebody that you just like to see them?
And I like to see him. Frankie, I've always wanted to mix my striking or like specifically my boxing with my takedowns. The way he does, like it was just beautiful. Like he's very sharp here, and every now and again he'll hit like just a flush combo, and it just transitions to a shot so easily. Especially when he was younger. As he got older, you saw it a bit less. But one of the first things to go on the human body is your speed, and he was competing at lower and lower weight classes, so they were getting faster and faster, and he was getting slower and slower. So time just kind of caught up with him. George St. Pierre, his use of the jab is the one thing I want the most out of anything. Kamal Usman does it pretty well too, but nobody does it like George
What would you say is the most difficult
until
part?
I'm on that level.
What would you say is kind of one of the most difficult parts of your journey going into professional fighting? What's been one of the most difficult things there?
Honestly, the mental aspect of it, just being okay with going out there and competing, but also remembering to have fun. Like I don't do this because I hate it or because I'm some troubled youth who's always had some kind of anger issues. It's like, no, I enjoy this. I enjoy going out there and pushing myself to the limit. I enjoy seeing what I'm capable of doing. I enjoy competition. So when I'm not having fun, I'm not performing well. When I'm having fun, I'm performing amazing. But a lot of times I feel like I can put unnecessary pressure on myself to try to live up to some expectation that nobody else has asked me to live up to, just myself, honestly. Because I want to. I want to be that person that like inspires my family and changes our situation and stuff like that. But that's not something they asked of me. That's just something I want to do. So I have to remember that it's not pressure; it's a privilege.
And what would be kind of some of your advice, if you know what I mean? What are some things you tell kind of younger people if they ever come to you and ask for advice about getting into the sport?
Why are you getting into it? Like, are you getting into it because you want to be the very best that no one ever was? Are you getting into it because you're angry and you just want to go hit something? Like, find out your why. And once you have your why and you truly believe in your why, then do whatever is necessary to make your why become a reality.
Yeah.
But make sure you understand why you're doing something.
Yeah. Drop that Pokemon line in there. Did you? Best there ever was.
Eh,
Uh,
you talking about. I'm gonna slide that in there always. Like
uh,
I keep telling them they need to make me a gym leader. Yo, Nintendo, Pokemon Go, somebody, please make me the fighting gym leader on one of the next game. Just make me a special trainer, like Trainer Red. That's all I'm asking. Just with fighting Pokemon, come on, and like one Psychic type. Make Ninetales a part Psychic type, please, because that one episode of Pokemon when Ninetales was like 1,000 years old and it developed psychic powers was dope. So like, give me all fighting Pokemon and then like a Psychic Ninetales. That's all I'm asking. Not too much. Come on.
yeah. What would be the fighting Pokemon you think that would be best for you?
All right. Let me get a Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee. I'm going old school with a Moncho. Let me get a Blaziken. Mm-hmm. And Tyro, just because I've always loved how Tyro looks, and then give me Ninetales. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll make sure. Hey, Nintendo. I'll make sure to try to tag Nintendo when I upload the video. Try to get them involved, and I'll try to get the people
Fact.
involved in Power Rangers. Try to get them involved as well. See if we can get you there. Yeah. And I see.
Hey, it's lit.
Yeah, and I see I was on your Instagram, checking out. You had a video after the fight, just all bloodied, face messed up, big smile on your face,
Yeah,
everything,
man.
everything like that. Let me pull that up real quick here. Yeah, celebrating it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the adrenaline is probably still rushing through your body, everything like that. I mean, do you even kind of feel that of the way your kind of face looks, or is it just you're just yeah. I mean, you're just too excited there.
Mainly too excited. I definitely felt it though. Like, you could literally see my lip kind of growing as I'm talking. My nose had already been damaged before then, so like I was kind of just used to that kind of hurt. The adrenaline was definitely pumping and I was hype. I had just found out that my nephew, well, actually, then I thought that my nephew hadn't wasn't able to make it, but he had texted me saying that he was proud of me, and like that almost brought me to tears. Cause like I don't know, I really want to be a positive influence on them, and the fact my mom was able to come, my dad too, my sister too, and like that was their first time ever coming to one of my fights. Honestly, my mom had before that point had only ever come to like one wrestling match in high school. She just wasn't really able to get out, so it meant a lot for her to be there, like on this big occasion. And after I won, she ran down, like kind of just moved the security out the way to come tell me hi. And so like all of those feelings were pumping through me.
Yeah. Family ever get a little too worried about you fighting a little bit?
My niece, every fight threatens to throw a banana peel in the cage or in the ring at my opponent so they can slip. And if that doesn't work, she says she's getting in there and we're gonna jump them every fight, every single time.
Man,
I'm like, chill, chill. They got a family too.
she on some Mario Kart stuff, huh? Okay. Gee.
Yo, TTG, train to go.
Another thing, the fight you had with Santa. This is a like somebody made an accurate description. They said cold picture, and this is a cold picture. So you have a picture here. You just staring at the guy. He's all hurt, curled up in a ball here, and you're just staring at him. This is a great picture. I would definitely print this out and put this on the wall if I was you. I mean,
Thank you, thank
this was definitely. I mean, you're just looking at him like he's just like prey, like you're a panther or something like that. Like, hey, that is a cool picture there. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's really great. Yeah. So when is do you know when your next fight is gonna be?
I do not know. I have a couple of people have hit me up about some things. The next thing I'm doing is supporting my fiance April 29th. For her jiu-jitsu tournament. After that, I might do this thing called All Grappling. Yeah, it's a jiu-jitsu event. Not sure when that next event is. There may be something in September. I like the date of that, and maybe something in June. So the dates are probably like June, May for grappling. June, there's a possible maybe MMA competition. I don't know yet. Um, and then September, I may be fighting also. But we're still waiting on the details. Until I get more details, I can't really say anything or too much about it. But just keep those dates in mind.
Okay. Keep those dates in mind. I'd love to have you back when those dates come up.
Definitely, definitely.
Everything like that. Do you have any merch, anything like that you want to promote?
So the only merch I have right now, my manager was trying to work out a deal with somebody else, but that didn't work. But I still have my merch with MMA Tea Company. I believe there's a new shirt up there. I'll share a link. I'll send it to you. I believe you got one of them, which is awesome. Thank you for that. But we should have some new merch coming. I want to do a whole line with that like wolf. Maybe even drop like a little comment sometime. My nephew actually designs those. That the nephew came to the fight with my nephew up in New York.
Okay.
And we've been talking back and forth about making some kind of comic. So yeah, we might do something cool for you guys, you know.
That's nice. Is that
But I'll definitely have some more merch coming soon.
is the wolf? Is that like part of your nickname at all? Do you have like a nickname when it comes to the sport or no?
Caution. All right, like, I'm gonna drop the little T now, right? Everybody thinks my name is Caution, like I'm telling my opponent to be cautious or something. No, my name is Caution because when I was learning to wrestle, I would constantly step over the line, and every time you step over the line in wrestling, they go caution, caution, and my coach got so tired of saying caution, he was like, you know what? That's your name. Your name is Caution, and it stuck.
Okay. Caution. Okay.
So we are Kasim Ruffin. Yep, Caution.
Oh, okay. It kind of that kind of goes
All the
together.
wrestlers gonna get it.
That kind of goes together. A little bit of a tongue
Thank you,
twister.
thank you.
A little bit of a tongue twister, but I think it kind of goes together there a little bit there. Yeah, it was a
All right.
yeah, it was a pleasure, man. I'm glad you were able to kind of come on, man. I'm glad you were able to talk to me, everything like that. Yeah. Shout out to your fiance. I hope she does very well. If she wants to come on and also do an interview, I'd be happy to have her. She's fantastic. So yeah, send my best wishes to her. And my best luck to her. Is there anything else you want to say? Last words before we head out?
Oh, congratulations to my jiu-jitsu team. They just competed uh, Saturday and they did awesome. Shout out to Marcus. That boy's becoming an absolute monster. My boy Pierre Ba, has a fight coming up for LFA April 23rd, I believe. I'll send you like a flyer and everything for it. I believe you had Ryan on your show before.
Yes.
So, yep. Our teammate Pierre Ba has a show coming up. Maybe you guys can link and talk, but he's going to go out there and absolutely do great. It's his time right now. He's a beast. Octavian just got a BS call. He should have won the fight, but it's okay. He's going to do amazing things. Everybody from the House of Muay Thai is gearing up to go do some amazing things too. So yeah, my squad just winning right now, so I'm hyped for him.
All right, man. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on. Wish you all the best. Wish you all the most
Oh,
success.
and shout out to you too. I know you just got your 2K followers. Go ahead, man.
Oh, thank you. 2K on TikTok. Thank you, man. Very, very much appreciated, man. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, I'll let you enjoy your food there, man. Take care.
All right, man. Thank you, man.
All
Take
right.
care, man. Be easy.
Be easy. Have a good one.